Do you want more people to listen to more of your podcast? There's probably a question that you ask every guest that gets pretty annoying after a while. And today I'm going to tell you the one question that I no longer ask after making an interview podcast for 6+ years, doing 300 episodes. I finally caught on to not ask this question. We're going to get into what the question is and why, but first I do need to ask you to subscribe to this channel. I put out weekly videos. They're pretty fun and they're mostly talking heads, but hey, they're screencasts too. I'm working on a new series. It'll be a good time. So subscribe to this channel. It'll be great. Also, if you want a email course on how to grow your podcast, 5 small changes that you can make to grow your podcast, head on over to podcastliftoff.com/workshop. It's free. You'll get an email a day for 5 days with changes that you can make. You'll also get a video right at the beginning, kind of giving you an overview. All totally free. Podcastliftoff.com/workbook. All right. Now, hey, everybody. My name is Joe Casamona. I run the Podcast Liftoff channel where I help podcasters make their first $10,000 because I want more people to turn their hobby into an actual business, an actual revenue generator. And to do that, you need to appropriately grow your podcast. So I've been advocating on doing not necessarily an interview podcast, but I know a lot of people do them. I do them myself. So today, what is the one question that you need to stop asking? Are you ready? It's tell us who you are and what you do. This is the worst question because basically you can get it over in about a minute by reading their bio. That's probably not why you have somebody on your show. You want them to give advice to your listeners about their area of expertise. And just by virtue of having them on your podcast, you are establishing that trust, right? So I get it. Out in the real world, you need to convince people that you know what you're talking about. But if someone's coming on your podcast and you've developed that trust with your listeners already, they trust that you trust them. So they don't need to spend time talking about why they are qualified to talk about this topic. This is something I did for a long time, though. I thought it was a really good first question to ask. Like, in your own words, tell us what you do. But most listeners are going to skip that. They want to get to the meat of the interview, especially if your podcast episodes are 45 to 60 minutes long or longer. Mini podcasts are on the rise. And so people are much more cognizant of their time. Which means that if you could cut out a bunch of fluff, then you absolutely should. But still, you want to tell your listeners like who this person is. They don't just want to go in cold, right? So there's a couple of things that you can do. The first thing that you can do is the speaker approach, right? Which is if you're giving a good talk, here's how you do it. You start with a story. You relate that story to your topic. You give the advice, which is, again, either a big idea or something actionable. And then at the end, you tell people who you are and how they can learn more about you. In an upcoming episode, I have Marie Poulin on the show. I didn't ask Marie Poulin to give us her whole backstory, right? Most people already know who she is. They know why she's known. I wanted to get into the crux of the matter, which was, why did you use Notion to deliver your course instead of an LMS? That was the main question that we want to answer here. And then at the end, I ask her to tell people where they can find her. So that's number one. Number two is you record a bumper at the beginning, including just the pertinent parts. Marie Poulin's a course creator. She is a Notion expert, etc. This is, again, something that you can get done within 30 to 60 seconds. So instead of taking up the first 5 or 10 minutes with your show going over background, you can dive right into the good stuff. I promise you, if you do this, more people will listen to your show longer. You're cutting out stuff that they either already know or don't care about. You're getting to the meat of the episode, which is going to answer a question or solve a problem that the listener already has. And then if they want to learn more about the guest, they can go off and learn more about the guest because you're going to have links in the show notes. So stop asking your guest. Tell us a little bit about yourself. It's not a talk show. You're probably not doing founder stories. Those are done to death. Your podcast is helping listeners solve a problem. You're having this guest on the show because they are an expert in solving that problem. So get into solving that problem. But that's it for this video. It's a shorter one. Let me know what you think. I want to know if you like this form of video better. And again, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. I put out videos weekly. If you want that freebie, be sure to head over to podcastliftoff.com/workshop. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time, I can't wait to see what you make.